Hey everyone, it's Ryan Leonard with Wolfnest Property Management, and today we're going to be talking about 3 questions that you should be asking before you sign a lease if you're a tenant looking for a property here in Utah. So, if you have ever rented in Utah, or if you're new to renting in Utah, you're going to see that it is very, very, very competitive. Just like the real estate market, we have a pretty low inventory in homes to buy, which, in fact, kind of increases the demand for rental properties for those tenants. So very similar to buying a home, it's very, very competitive, even if you're trying to rent a townhome, a single family home, a condo. So now obviously finding a property can be difficult that fits your budget, but even once you identify that property and you're going through the application, the screening process, finally you get to the leasing process, and then that can be probably one of the most, I would say, overwhelming parts of the entire process of finding that place to live. So here's just some questions that you should be asking yourself or the leasing manager before you sign that lease agreement with that management company. So first one is, when is rent due and how do I pay? Now, if you're working with a management company, they should have several different options for you to be able to pay. Now, I know with us here at Wolfnest, we actually have a tenant portal where they can pay with a debit card, a credit card. They can also set up automatic withdrawals from their account on the first of each month to ensure that they're never late. Also, you can drop off a check to our office or mail it as long as we have it on the first. In addition, you have cash slips, which means you can go into any 7-Eleven, Western Union, Walmart in the entire country, pay cash, and we'll receive funds that day into our trust. So again, asking, okay, how am I paying? And also want to make sure that there's some sort of documentation or way to track it. Now, if you're paying a DIY landlord and it's via Venmo, that's great because you can see, hey, date submitted, and if they ever claim that you never paid rent this month, well, no, actually, here's my statement or my Venmo account showing that I sent it to you, on this day for this amount. So again, always kind of try to keep some receipts or some accounting in case they do say you didn't pay. Also, when is it due? Now, most lease agreements may have a grace period where rent's due on the 1st, but as long as you pay by the 5th, there is no late fee. Or rent's due on the 1st and there is no grace period. So again, understanding if there is a grace period and what day rent is due is a great way to avoid any late fees that may not be necessary. Next one is maintenance request. And how do I submit those? How long does it usually take? So again, using that tenant portal with us here at Wolfnest is great because you can put in a maintenance request 24 hours a day. We also have a 24/7 emergency maintenance line. So if it's after hours on the weekend during a holiday, and if you call saying that there's a gas leak or that there is water gushing from the ceiling, great, you call us. You're actually going to talk to a live agent who's going to get on the phone with one of our leadership team and also the owner and vendors so that we can help you troubleshoot that to prevent any damage to the property, but also get someone out there very, very quickly to resolve that issue so that you can go back to enjoying that rental property. So again, is it going to be a phone call or a text, or is there a dedicated person you need to call, or is it going to be more through a portal like we have where you can submit the request on top of having 24/7 emergency maintenance line? Good things to ask. Now, as far as how long does it take to address the request, that's just kind of a crystal ball type question, right? Depending on the repair or the request is going to really dictate how quick the turnaround is going to be to resolve it. So if there's a broken shelf in the refrigerator, technically that's considered a 10-day issue, meaning the owner or the manager has 10 days to make substantive corrective action to return it to the condition it was. Again, if it stops working out of wear and tear. Things like a 3-day issue, no running water or no hot water, or there's no electricity at the property, HVAC in the HVAC in the or furnace in the winter months, and then AC in the summer months, HVAC furnace in the winter months. Those are things that need to be addressed within 3 days or make, again, substantive corrective action. So really the type of request is going to dictate how quickly those are going to be done. Now, odds are if it's a slow time of the month or year and you put in a maintenance request to fix that broken shelf in the refrigerator, and there happened to be a vendor, in the area, you may get it done that same day. So kind of just depends on that one. Now this is a good one too, is how can the lease be terminated? So obviously when you sign that lease, you have all intentions of living at that property for 1 year, 2 years, however long you sign that lease for. Now obviously situations can change. Let's say you get a new job out of state, or something happens in the home and you need to get out of that lease. Usually management companies are going to have some sort of early termination, or some sort of clause in there that yes, this agreement can be broken. Usually it's going to be some sort of fee, right? So now there are 2 protected classes that could break their lease really for any reason, and that is a member of the military that is being deployed or stationed in a new area. Okay, we have to allow them to break that lease. Or if it's a victim of domestic abuse. Obviously, if you're living with the person that did that harm, that damage, that's something that you need to be able to get away from, by all means, and should have the right to. So again, those are the 2 situations where you can really get out of that lease. But if you are on a lease agreement and let's say you have a new job offer and you're moving out of state or even to a different city, make sure you bring that up to your employer that, hey, these are one of the things that I'm going to incur as far as expense. Is there any type of package that you offer to help offset maybe that fee or that cost to break that lease? So again, if you're in the process of looking for a place to rent, by all means, check out our website. You can find our properties on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, on our website, as well as about 30 other sites that we syndicate to. We do showings really 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. 7 days a week, and have a full leasing team that you can call and ask questions to. So again, if you're on the hunt, there's our website. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to our applications and leasing team, and hope we can get you a good home. Thank you.